Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. I'm here today to show you two tiny journals. I just completed these and I wanted to make a video and then I will post it in my shop. These are tiny micro mini journals. I'm not sure what else they might be called, but anyways, micro, very, very mini. And there are two of them right now. I'm making a little bit more just so you can see. So this is about the size of them. This is what it might look like in my hand. They are tiny. I made them, however, in the usual way that I might make a larger junk journal with pockets and inserts and ephemera and so on. They are really adorable and certainly something that I would love to have, and hopefully somebody else too. It has, the fluff on the top here, the tabs, and it has some of the sewing tails that I left on the bottom, and some on the top, and it has charms on the side here. This one is a little bit of a gold one, and this one is more of a bronze. Let me show you each one, what they might look like and the size of them and so on. So this one is called the door, and they're all the same. They're both the same size. So about 2¼ inches by about 1 inch, and the spine is about 1/2 inch. It has two signature bound pamphlet style. I have two right now, but I'm going to have more, and they're all cut from the same cloth, but different parts of the cloth, and so each one looks a little bit different. And this one has a little bit of golden ribbon on top, and then a little flower. And over here it has more ribbon, and then this is the closure that is goes all the way through to the other side, and it has orangish and yellow and reddish colors. So it has this charm, and it's a little bit of a golden button just to go with a little bit of the golden on here. And so these are two signatures. And here's a little thing. It has a rhinestone on it, and over here the fluffy orange and yellow and so on, and it's just so cute. Anyhow, let me open this one and show you inside. So on the inside, as you can see, it is mostly in the nature theme, flowers and birds and butterflies and so on. So I made a pocket right here from ribbon, and it has a tiny tag over here, which I actually did collaging on. So you can see some different elements on here, like the book page, and a little bit of an envelope and ribbon and a flower. And on the back, I just used from whatever book page I had left over pieces. And you can still write on this, jot down your notes, maybe just the date, or maybe a motivational word or something. It has a number 24 on it. I left it just because I like numbers. And so this one goes in this teeny tiny pocket over here. And I did sew as usual, that I sewn regular pages. So this one is a see-through pocket. It has a few ephemera pieces that you might want to put somewhere else. This little flower here, and then a bird, and another flower. So you might glue these somewhere else, wherever you might want to have some embellishment. And you can stuff this pocket a little bit more, put a couple more things in it. Then on this page, I did a little bit collaging, and here as well, from a ribbon here, and over here stamping, and some postage stamps. I try to put in the color, some of the color scheme postage stamp, and some other items in here. Then I did a little label like I would do for the bigger page with a little bit of fabric on it. And over here is a pocket and a little tiny journaling card. I'm going to try to stay in frame, but it might be a little bit more difficult. So we have a tab on the top and a music page, and this is the little rhinestone that I showed you earlier. So a little bit of collaging here with ledger paper, and then on the back I put a bird. Maybe the bird is singing to you on this music note, and I was stamping here, and more flowers over here, and I did some stamping here just to give you some lines, and then over here I had sewn on this very pretty and a little bit shiny piece from a sari silk. And over here in the middle, the first middle, or the middle of the first signature, we have a little flower charm. And then we have this tiny tag that you can jot something down on the back. And you have lines here too to jot some down. And here's another tag, and this one has some eyelash trim on it. Very cute. Oh my goodness. And I know I've gone off the deep end here. I'm making this so tiny. It's hard even for me to work with this, but I managed somehow. So this one has a little bit more from the sari silk over here, a little bit shiny. And then over here we have a gold paper clip, and then we have a journaling card. This is something from a sketchbook about sketching. So a little bit of journaling card, extra space to write on, and in the back here a little bit more flowers, and then some yellow paper, and another birdie over here, and some collaging here, and a little bit more lines, and then over here a little tag also in this tiny little pocket, and a label over here with collaging on it, and a fabric tab. Over here, this is a little bit of the glassine bag paper, and the negative of the flower. A little bit of stamping here, and more collaging and sewing. So, also I tried to sew as much as I could, but some things were just too tiny, because you have to watch your fingers throwing, putting these items, these tiny items through the machine. More collaging here, and then this is another see-through pocket, and there's a couple of things here, or a few actually. So there is a little bit of a leaf and a flower and a little stamped out die cut flower as well. So this is your first signature here, and that's the inside here. And then we have the second signature and a pocket over here with a little journaling card, a little bit stamping over here in the corner, and a fabric tab, more lines for you, something about psychology. I have this 1932 like date book, and it just has this very, very fine paper in it, so I started using that. This one also has a tiny rhinestone here, and a little bit of yellow here on the bottom, and this beautiful butterfly, and I did sew on the spine here a little bit more shiny on there. Lined paper here, stamping, and this is a pull out. I feel funny saying that. This is a pull out. It's tiny. Anyway, some stamping here, a little bit more flowers, and then a label here. Stamp some lines for you, and then over here is another paper charm. And over here, if I can show you, this is a little notebook. You can write a couple of things in here, again, like dates or maybe some secret word or something. So a little notebook for you to use. Okay, and over here, if I can get to it, let me see. A little bit more extra paper here for journaling. Teeny, teeny, tiny, of course. There. And on the next page, we have, let me see, what do we have here? More lines, and then a label here, and a vintage book page, a little bit more stamping, and pull out over here, lined paper. Over here I used the name butterfly that was alongside in that book that I got the butterfly from, and then a little bit more yellow here, and fabric all through here, and some tabs, orange here, and that date book, and in the back is some person, but it fits perfectly here. And over here some more lines, and then corner stamp, and a pocket here with a little journaling card. And over here is a little tiny tag that says love on it, and very, very cute, adorable, and goes into this pocket here. And then this is paper backing here, eco dyed paper that I have. And so this is the end of Adore. So Adore will be in my shop shortly. And let me show you the other one. Hopefully I can get my fingers into it. One second. Okay, so on this one is Wonder. And Wonder is the same size. What did we say? The size was about 2 1/4 by 1 inch, and about a 1/2 inch spine with 2 signatures. And this one has a little flower charm on it. And also it has some sequins over here as well. And then the title, Wonder. And ribbons, the coffee dyed ribbon, and then the yellow on top. And so it has some fluff on the top here and sewing tails on the bottom. So let's see what this one might have inside. It's in the same style, just different pictures and so on. So this one has a belly band. It's, my goodness, tiny, of course. And this little yellow tag that goes inside, and you can put a date on it, I suppose. And this is a pocket, one of those see-through pockets. And inside you have a couple of things like this flower die cut, and then cut out, and a bird as well to put somewhere else. So you might, want to add this over here, or however you wish to decorate the journal. And a little bit of a collage here, and then stamping. And then this butterfly also is a die cut, but it has sewing on the spine, and then a pink tab over here, and some stamping, and a little label here, and another bird here. And then this stamp is not glued on, so you can put that somewhere else. And this is a one of those gold paper clips. And then here's a pocket with a little fabric tab, and then some roses on here, and a journaling tag, a little bit of stamping, lined paper, vintage flower book, and a little bit more over here for writing, a little label. And then this is in the middle of the first signature, also the flower charm. And over here in the middle pockets, you have more of a journaling card on one side, and on the other side as well. Each one a little bit indifferent in look, just from the same cardstock. So these are a little bit firmer. And if I can get my fingers around this. And over here, a little label with some ribbon on top and flowers on the side. And the yellow flower from the vintage flower book. A little bit different sizes paper. And then over here, another rose journaling card in this pocket. You can always, add something else or change it, or whatever you might have for this journal. A little bit lines here, and another bird, and a little label here with a little bit on top. And then I do give you some empty pages for journaling or your notes. And then another butterfly. This one has a little bit of gold spine, and then some stamp paper, and over here a little bit of a collage, and then a few more pieces of ephemera over here to put somewhere else. And so that's the end of the first signature, and we're on to the second signature. And this beautiful, this is from a vintage, there's just pages. I have these pages of vintage flowers, and I cut up like a whole page for these to use them in these beautiful, beautiful hues. And then this is also a see-through pocket with a few things of ephemera to put somewhere else. So, you know, for example, you might want to glue this over here or wherever you might want to put it. And music notes and some fabric. And a little bit more of the collaging here. You know, different sizes paper and stamping. And this one says Pediatrics from the 1932 date book. It actually has the dates here, and for the month of October. And this one has these beautiful golden ribbon and the blue Eco-Dye paper. And then on the back is the journaling card. Also something about drawing, sketching, and on the back you can write on it. And you have a full page here for a couple of notes, and more stamping. And this is another pull out. I love that, it's a pull out. And vintage book page here, and more lines to write on, and some tabs on the top. And so this is the middle of the second signature. Also has the paper flower charm. And then over here is a little notebook with some different pages, again, to write on. And probably just numbers or something, a word or something on each page. And here's another little tag, and we're almost done here. So more lines here, and a flower, and a pull out, and some stamping. And I have another stamp here, and a little bit more of the ribbon and fabric collaging, a little bit more from that page. And this one has something in the back here, a little picture you can look at. And then more stamping here, and it's just a different color and size paper. A little bit more over here, music page. So you can see all the fluffy, all the work here, sewing and fabrics and so on. And then the back, a couple more pieces. And then this tiny, tiny little bird to put somewhere. And a little bit more of that flower and leaves. And then the belly band at the back. And one final tag. Let me see if I can get it out. There we go. And this one has a little bit of flower and book page and lined paper, stamping. So a whole lot of things going on. That is tiny tag that you can see here. And in the back again is the coffee dye paper, and just the ribbon that's making this tiny belly band. So this is Wonder. So Wonder and Adore will be in my shop shortly. I hope to make the others. I do have more ideas for them and so on, and hopefully I can get to it and get these ready. So again, Adore and Wonder, they are adorable little journals, real journals, just in a tiny, tiny form. So I appreciate you coming by to see these. I loved making them, and it was a lot of fun. It's still hard work, and it still takes time. I appreciate you coming and taking a look here. Again, Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Please stay well. Thank you. Bye-bye.